This video, we're going to look at topic 2, function notation and evaluating functions. So number 7 here I have if f of x. Remember f of x when it's written like this is a fancy way of saying y equals. So y equals negative x minus 7. Find the function at negative 5. The function at negative 5 means this is x. So instead of writing x, I'm going to put negative 5 exactly where the x is. So I'm going to rewrite this. It would actually be written as f at negative 5 equals, now be careful, this says negative x, so this is like negative 1 times x. So negative 1 times negative 5 minus 7. We're just going to simplify is all we need to do here. So negative 1 times negative 5, that would be positive 5 minus 7. So 5 minus 7 is negative 2. So I could just say that f at negative 5 equals negative 2. And I just want you to stop and think about that briefly as a coordinate. This is absolutely the correct answer, but as a coordinate, remember if this was x, so if this is x, this must be y. So if I was to put this as a coordinate, it would be negative 5, negative 2. All right, up next, number 8. If g of x equals x squared minus 2x plus 11, find g at negative 2. It's common that functions use the letters f, g, and h. That's very common. They're used interchangeably. So g at negative 2, this is x. So let's rewrite this. G at negative 2 equals, instead of x, I'm going to type in negative 2 here. So negative 2 squared minus 2 times negative 2 plus 11. We're going to need to do a little simplifying here. Negative 2 squared, negative 2 times negative 2 is 4. Negative 2 times negative 2, still 4, so plus 4, plus 11. So 4 plus 4 is 8, plus 11 is 19. So I would say that g at negative 2 is equal to 19. Again, if I was thinking about that as a coordinate, that would mean that x was negative 2 and y was 19. Okay, number 9. If f of x equals 2x squared minus x, find f at negative 4 minus f at 9. Okay, so really what we want to do here is we want to do each one separately. We want to say, okay, I'm going to find f at negative 4. I'm going to find f at 9, and I'm going to subtract the 2. So let's figure out what is f at negative 4. That would be 2 times negative 4 squared minus, again, be careful with this, that's like negative 1x, so minus 1 times negative 4. So let's do a little math. This is 2, remember we need to do the exponent. Negative 4 times negative 4 is positive 16. And then negative 1 times negative 4 is 4. Following order of operations, 2 times 16 is 32. Plus 4. So f at negative 4 would be 36. Okay, now let's find f at 9 real quick. So f at 9 would be 2 and then 9 squared. And it has to be in those parentheses. Minus 1 times 9, right? That's minus 9 there. Okay. 9 squared is 9 times 9, 81. So I want 2 times 81. Now negative 1 times 9, that's just subtract 9. 2 times 81 minus 9. So 2 times 81 would be 162 minus 9. 162 minus 9 is 153. Okay, now we got to actually perform what it asked me to do. It says I want to take f at negative 4, which is 36, and I want to subtract f at 9, which is 153. So I'm going to take 36. I'm going to subtract 153, and my answer is going to be negative 117. This is what we're looking for. Okay, number 10. If h at x, or h of x, equals 1 minus 2/3 x, find h at negative x. Again, negative 6, this is x. Okay. So h at negative 6 equals 1 minus 2/3 times negative 6. So this would be 1. What is negative and a negative is a positive. And 2 times 6 is 12. Divided by 3 is 4. So this would be 1 plus 4. So this would be 5. So I could say that h at negative 6 equals 5. Okay, so that would be evaluating when we've been given x. So let's go ahead and take a look at, let's go ahead and flip our page. Okay, number 11, find the range of a function f of x equals 3x minus 8 if the domain is negative 4, 2, and 7. Okay, so what they've done here is they've given us 3 different values of x, and they just want us to find the 3 different values of y. That's all they want us to do. So let's just plug it in. Let's say, okay, if I have f at negative 4, I'm going to plug in my numbers. That would be 3 times negative 4 minus 8. So negative 4 times 3 is negative 12, minus 8, that would be negative 20. Okay, and then we would find f at 2, so that would be 3 times 2 minus 8. Well, 3 times 2 is 6, and 6 minus 8 is negative 2. And then we do the last one separately. That would be f at 7 equals 3 times 7 minus 8. 3 times 7 is 21, and 21 minus 8 is 13. So I would say that my range would be in parentheses, negative 20, not parentheses, I'm sorry, braces, negative 20, negative 2, and 13 end brace. There's my set. So using what you know there and what you know about negatives and squares, can you find 12? So you can pause and then come back. Okay, just a quick reminder, when you are working with these problems, this negative x squared should be thought of as negative 1 times my x squared, and we always do perform the exponent before we multiply by that negative. That's very important. If you're typing it into a calculator, it's important that if you're going straight across, that you use parentheses around that x value, whatever it may be, because calculators will get confused and won't understand what you're trying to accomplish. All right, so your range here, negative 12, 0, and 3. Number 13 looks a little different. I actually have a graph. It says, given the graph of f of x below, find f at 3. Okay, so this is x, right? It's inside the parentheses. So if they've given me x, they want me to go find, yep, I hope I heard you say y. So I'm going to go where x is 3, 1, 2, 3. X is 3 right here. I'm going to go ahead and go up to where it matches my line. And it matches right here. This is where I would fall on the graph. And then I'm going to count. What is that value? Well, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So f at 3 would be equal to 6. Number 14. F of x equals 5/2 x plus 7 if f of x equals negative 13, find x. F of x is negative 13 this time. That is not the x value. I want to find the x value. So remember, f of x is like saying fancy y. So it's saying y is negative 13. So I'm going to rewrite this as negative 13 equals 5/2 x plus 7. Two-step equation. I'm going to go ahead and subtract the 7 from both sides. That will leave us with negative 20 equals 5/2 x. Now, multiplicative inverse. We're going to multiply both sides. I'm going to use a different color. I'm going to multiply both sides times 2 over 5. Times 2 over 5. We're going to flip it over, use the multiplicative inverse. So here, the 5 and the 5, well, this would be 1 and 1. So the only thing left over here is x equals. Now 2, straight across, 2 times negative 20 is negative 40. 5 times 1 is 5. Now I can simplify. Negative 40 divided by 5 is negative 8. So x equals negative 8, which is what they wanted us to find. So function notation is really important. Remember that f of x is y, and if there's a value inside those parentheses, f at a value, that means that they've given you x and they want you to go find y.